What's going on, y'all? It's Mason Bleasdell, your Austin real estate agent, and we are in Blackhawk because if you are looking into the original, like the oldest master plan, huge community in Pflugerville, I mean, if you're looking at any homes in Pflugerville, you cannot help but miss Blackhawk. Blackhawk is particularly unique because it is the only one in this area that not only has a golf course, multiple amenity centers, an on-site elementary school, but also, homes going back to the early 2000s, some really large ones, smaller ones. The homes were in the low 300,000s, all the way to some brand new construction homes that are in the 8s and 9s, depending on how much. Literally, there's something for everybody here for one of the coolest, locations in terms of being in a community with amenities like the amenity center right behind me. All these things combined make this community very special. So if you're looking into Blackhawk, we're going to take you on kind of the ultimate guide. If you're looking to relocate to this area, show you around, show you what the location is actually like, show you what it's like when you're on the ground here, if you aren't familiar with this area at all, and all the reasons why, if you're thinking about the North Austin suburbs, this one in Pflugerville is absolutely worth a look. So let's jump in the car. I've got a lot to show you. Now, pulling out of the amenity center, one of several dotted throughout Blackhawk, but this one's the biggest, probably the coolest. Obviously, we are filming this in January. The pool is drained for annual maintenance, all those things. But, once all of this greens up, it really is lovely. So I want to talk about three big things in this video. First and foremost, location. Where are we? What is it actually like to live here? Second, of course, talk about the neighborhood. What's going on? What's moving and shaking? And then, of course, let's talk housing a little bit because we naturally have to. So first, location. We are just on the east side of Highway 130, the toll road that runs north-south on the east side of Austin. And that is very nice and easy to access if you commute anywhere like Tesla, like the airport. Georgetown, for example, a bunch of things going on there. One of the biggest Amazon warehouses and office spaces is just down the road from here as well. If you're commuting, very, very easy. That said though, your day-to-day things are incredibly close and easy to access here. Things like H-E-B, a brand new one just opened on the other side of Falcon Point, the next neighborhood over from us. Could not be an easier drive. We also, again, have really easy access to schools around here. There is Crispin Hall Elementary within the neighborhood itself. So if you've got elementary age kids, it's always super nice when all your kids' friends also live in the neighborhood. It just makes it easy, especially if you're relocating here, to help build community, especially if you do have kids of that age. But the high school and middle school are also very, very close to here as well, literally just down the street. This location, honestly, is pretty close to things. Now, Blackhawk itself is huge, so it can, depending on what part of the neighborhood you're in, it can take a little bit to weave your way out of here, but all in all, very close to things. Other little notable thing to have in the neighborhood itself is Montessori school. So if you've got kids younger than elementary ages, you do have that option directly across from Crispin Hall Elementary. Blackhawk does have its own golf course, its own country club. Now that is not required as part of the HOA dues in here. The HOA dues that we'll get to in a little bit are extremely reasonable, especially considering the amenities that you get. But if you are into golf, it's super cool to have that within the neighborhood. This is a very golf cart friendly neighborhood. Literally throw your clubs in the back, zoom on down to the course. It's very, very cool to have that here. And it is one of the nicer courses around Austin. Now we're gonna put some footage in talking about the neighborhood itself of Blackhawk, kind of just driving around to try to give you a sense of what it's actually like with boots on the ground here. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, Blackhawk is one of the oldest master planned communities in Pflugerville and definitely the biggest in terms of both footprint and number of homes. A lot of these homes were built in the very early 2000s. They're approaching 25 years old or so now. So you get a lot of those matured trees. If that's something that you're after, you've got that here. Now, there's different sections, and every section kind of has its own name, which is very, very cool and kind of fun as well. There's fairways at Blackhawk, for example, which are golf course frontage homes. You've got options like that. There are a lot of 3-car garages out here. There's plenty to choose from between single and 2-story. And like I mentioned in the intro as well, we've got homes down around 1,500 square feet in the very low 300s, all the way up above 4,000 square feet for some of the bigger ones. And the prices out here are crazy reasonable for what you're getting. There's one listed right now on the golf course 2-story, 3,400 square feet with a pool in the mid 600s. It's just crazy to have that much value in a location with the amenities and all the things that Blackhawk has to offer. It just really is special. Now, Blackhawk itself, the HOA here, is a very reasonable $120 a quarter. It's insanely cheap, again, considering the amenities that you get for that. But a lot of that's because this is a big community, so pooling all the funds together make that happen. But some really cool things come with it. Now, there's several different amenity centers dotted throughout the community as well. There's a bunch of different walking paths that go through some preserved greenbelt areas, and they also do some really fun events, things like food trucks. They do seasonal things, related to holidays and whatnot around here also, which is just super nice, again, to help foster the sense of community that you have out here. We're driving past some more of the walking trails. There's a little fishing pond right over my shoulder here. It's things like that that kind of make Blackhawk special. And again, because it's so big, you can have things like that. Now, right now, we're cruising through one of the older parts. We're right on the golf course here. Again, these homes back up to it, which is very, very nice, just for the sense of privacy and, gives you a view in a way. This section's very cool. Now, there's a couple of things I want to make specific about Blackhawk that are unique. In most neighborhoods like this, you almost never have any variation in terms of things like property tax rates. This neighborhood is actually so big that there are different tax rates depending on which section of it you're in. Generally speaking, they vary from about 2.1 to 2.6%, with the highest being the new construction homes that we're going to show off in a minute. You can actually go in and buy brand new here in Blackhawk still to this day. So anyways, just something to be aware of when you are shopping around. All right, now we are pulling into the ridge at Blackhawk. This is the newest section, and like I mentioned earlier, you can still buy a brand new home here, and there's actually a good bit more to come. Very, very exciting. Now, this section of Blackhawk does tend to be the larger homes. All of these are going to be, on or over that 2,000 square foot mark. Again, you're going to find a lot of 3-car garages. It's a lot of the things that are nice about Blackhawk, some of the older sections. They're carrying that over just into a slightly more modern context. We've got really amazing builders here like GFO Home, like Chesmar, who are out here offering some really, really beautiful large homes for some of the cheapest that they offer these floor plans anywhere around the Austin area. It really is a good value. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, the property tax rate in this section of the neighborhood is a little bit higher than the rest of the community. We're about 2.6 here, so it's on the higher end overall. But comparing it to a lot of the other areas that you might, like Shadow Glen, for example, in Manor, another golf course community, it's right on par with it. So it's just something, as long as it's comfortable for you, to budget for. And again, compared to Liberty Hill, for example, where a lot of these homes are built, the property tax rate is the same, but you're going to pay quite a bit more money for those homes. So everything's a balance, of course. But if you are looking for a really modern floor plan, a new home that you can move into, have a warranty, everything's brand new, these are really, really cool options for you. Now, if you're looking into Blackhawk, I sure hope that this video was helpful to you. And if you're looking for an agent, not only to help guide you through the process, whether it's a new construction or a resale, but help you find the right home at the right price, of course, but also in the right community for you and your family, I would love that opportunity to be that resource of choice for you. You can reach me directly. My personal contact details are on the screen and down below. Whether it's Blackhawk, whether it's any of the other, competing and similar communities around here, I'd love to help you out with it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.